Good morning to 7th grade. Welcome back to physics class. The continuation of heat chapter, chapter number 4. In the previous class, you have learnt about what is heat, what is temperature, what is a thermometer, what is the liquid used in thermometers, what are different types of thermometers like a clinical thermometer, laboratory thermometer, and maximum minimum thermometer. Today's class, let us go through about transfer of heat. Heat flows from a hot body to a cold body, or heat flows from an object at the high temperature to another object with a low temperature. This flow of heat is known as the transfer of heat. Example, if you dip a steel spoon into a cup of tea, then we will find that the temperature of spoon rises and it becomes hot. In this case, some of the heat contained in hot tea has been transferred to spoon which is placed inside it. When the two objects attain the same temperature, then the flow of heat stops. This means that no heat will be transferred from one object to another if the temperature of two objects is the same. Just like when you put the thermometer into your mouth, heat transfer takes place until thermometer mercury and your body temperature are equal. The heat continues to transfer. When both are equal, the transfer of heat stops. Now let us come back to the lesson. There are three ways through which heat can be transferred from one object to another object. First one is by conduction, second one is by convection, and third one by radiation. I repeat, conduction, convention, radiation. First one, what is conduction? The mode of transfer of heat from hotter part of a material to the colder part of, or from a hot material to cold material in contact with it without the movement of material as a whole is known as conduction. In all the solids, heat is transferred by the process of conduction. Conductor and insulator of heat. Materials which allow heat to be conducted through them easily are called conductors of heat. Those metals such as iron, copper, silver, aluminum, etc. are good conductors of heat. Bad conductors of heat are those materials which do not allow heat to be conducted through them easily. These materials are known as insulators of heat. Examples: wood, plastic, and glass are insulators of heat. Now, what are the uses of good and bad conductors of heat? During the winter season, we generally wear woolen clothes. If we compare them with cotton clothes, then we will find that the wool fibers have much more space between them. These get filled with air, which is a bad conductor of heat. Hence, being an insulator, both wool and air together prevent the heat from our bodies from escaping out, keeping us warm. Also, jute and sawdust are bad conductors of heat. We cover the eyes with a jute cloth of sawdust to prevent it from getting heat from the surroundings and melting. The double walls of the refrigerator having space inside which is filled with an insulating material prevent the heat of the surroundings from reaching the inside of the refrigerator. The two thinner blankets during the winter season are very much effective because the air layer trapped between the thinner blankets creates insulation and provides the protection from cold. Sometimes there are two things which are at the same temperature. It seems like they are at different temperatures, one being cold and the other being warm. This happens because some things are a good conductor of heat while others are poor conductors of heat. Example, during winter season, a metal object kept in a room feels very cold to touch, but a wooden object in the same room feels warmer to touch. Metal object is a good conductor of heat, so when we touch the metal object, it conducts away heat from our hand quickly, and by losing heat, our hand feels cold. On the other hand, the wooden object does not allow the heat of our hand to escape and hence feels warmer to touch. The water and the air are bad conductors of heat. The second one is convection, the mode of transfer of heat from the hotter part of a fluid or its colder parts by the movement of liquid itself is known as convection. The transfer of heat by convection can take place only in liquids and gases. Remember, the transfer of heat by convection can take place only in liquids and gases. It is due to the reason that the particles in liquids and gases can move about freely. So, the transfer of heat by convection cannot take place in solids because the particles in the solids are fixed at a place and cannot move about freely. It is also not occurred in empty space or vacuum because there are no particles of any kind in empty space which can move and transfer heat. Convection in water. If you observe, heat is being provided at the bottom. Here, the particles of water at the bottom take the heat and they go up, and the top particles which are colder are sent down. And as the particles, when they come down, they get heated and they go up. And this continuous movement of heated particles go up and cold particles coming down continues until the whole liquid in the container gets heated. So let us go through this. Convection in water. Water is a poor conductor of heat. So due to this reason, it cannot transfer heat by conduction, but it transfers heat by the process of convection. Convection in air. Air is a very poor conductor of heat. Air transfers heat from its hotter parts to the colder parts of the parts by the process of convection. Sea and land breezes. The blowing of sea breeze and land breeze in coastal areas is generally occurred due to the convection of heat in air. In coastal areas during the daytime, the breeze generally flows from the sea towards the land and during the night time blows from the land towards the sea. Sea and land breezes are actually convection of heat. During the day, the land heats up more than water. Due to this, the air over the land becomes hotter and lighter and rises up. So, the air from the sea, which is cooler and heavier, rushes to take the place created by hot rising air. Therefore, a sea breeze blows during the day. During the night, the land loses heat faster than water and becomes cooler, and the air over the sea is now warmer due to which it rises up, and the cooler air over the land rushes to take its place. Therefore, we observe a land breeze at night. Here is the picture of land breeze. The flow of air from sea to land cool in the day. The flow of air from sea to land cool in the day. The above one is land breeze, which happens during the night. Now, radiation. The mode of transfer of heat through which heat energy from a hot body to a cold body by means of heat rays without any material medium between them is known as radiation. Example, the sun's heat reaches the earth by the process of radiation. The sun is very far away from the earth and there is mainly an empty space or vacuum between the sun and the earth. Even then, the heat from the sun reaches the earth. This is due to the fact that the sun, being extremely hot, emits invisible heat radiation in all the directions. These radiations travel through the vacuum between the sun and the earth at a very high speed and ultimately reaches on the earth. Therefore, we can say that the transfer of heat from a hot object to a cold object by the process of radiation does not require any medium. In our daily life activities, we have many situations where heat is transferred by radiation through air. Example, depending on the temperature of surroundings, our body too gives heat to the surroundings or receives heat from the surroundings by radiation. If a hot utensil filled with hot milk is kept away from the flame, then it cools down by transferring its heat to the surroundings by radiation. Here is an example of convection, conduction, and radiation. If we stand next to a burning fire, then we will feel the heat of the fire falling on our face. The heat is transferred from the fire to our face by the process of radiation. Clothes. Clothes during hot summer days, people prefer to wear white clothes or light colored clothes because light colored clothes absorb less heat from the sun and hence keep us cool and comfortable. In hot weather, while in the cold weather days, people prefer to wear dark clothes because the dark colored clothes absorb more heat rays from the sun and keep us warm in winter season. Thus, we can say that dark colored objects absorb heat better and also emit heat better than light colored objects. Now, let us try to study this concept on the basis of the given activity. Dark colored shirt absorbs heat, whereas white colored shirt reflects heat. In the winters, we use woolen clothes. Wool is a poor conductor of heat. Moreover, there is air trapped in between the wool fibers. This air prevents the flow of heat from our body to the cold surroundings, so we feel warm. So, this is the picture of some of the winter clothings. Thank you.